There's the call. Joey Logano, drive the number 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford Fusion, the pride of Middletown, Connecticut, and he knows gas mileage. Joey joins us now. Can you recreate that sound as you won the race, Joey?
I don't think you guys want me to.
It's early. It's early. Why were you better with gas mileage than everybody else was?
Well, I think it was all fuel strategy of what we called throughout the race. My crew chief, Ty Gordon, called it a great race, and we were able to pit and have about 3 laps more fuel than the cars who were racing in front of us. And we restarted that last restart because of that back in 13th. So we kind of had to pick our way through the field, get up towards the front. And then at that point, I knew those guys were short in front of us on making it. And, all I can do at that point is just push them. Because the harder I push them, it's harder for them to save fuel, obviously. So I just kept charging through the field and pushing those guys. And eventually ran out of gas and everywhere to take advantage of it. So it worked out great. Last week it was kind of the same thing, but vice versa. We were leading the race with a few laps to go and ran out of gas. And this week it flipped back around and we got the win. So it was a special win for sure, especially at a road course.
All right. Explain the inside of the car. No gas gauges, right? There's nothing that would give you an indication of how much you have left, right?
No, we don't have any of that.
Why not?
It's up to the engineers and the crew chiefs. They do such a great job on being able to calculate how much fuel we got in the car and how much we need to save, and we talk about it a lot, and we don't really need a gas gauge, and we're able to, like I say, calculate it so well. By the lap times are running, and we have strategies of how much I need to save as a driver and what I need to do, and that really didn't come into play for us. Yesterday, they knew how much I needed to make it to the end, but as a driver, they just let me be aggressive and go out there and pass as many cars as I can, and it's a lot more fun on that end because it's hard for me to slow down. Believe me, I want to go all the time, and it's hard for me to check up and save fuel. So they put it in my hands, and I just had to go out there and race.
But you're young; you're allowed to be that way. Will you always drive this way? Do you think?
I think so. It's what I found to be successful. I feel like the harder I charge and aggressive on restarts or throughout a race, I've seen the reward from it. Obviously, the penalty of it is sometimes you get in a crash or something like that. But this year we've been very consistent with a lot of top 5 finishes, and we've been very close to wins here the last month and a half. And it felt good to finally break through and get that Sprint Cup win along with the Xfinity win this last weekend as well. So it's a pretty special weekend. Where's
your wife watch the race from?
She watches up on the pit box for a while, and then sometimes she goes back to the bus and comes back out. They're long races, so I think she moves around.
But how nerve-wracking is it for her? Is it a conversation you have after a race does she feel like she's been in a race?
We joke about it a lot. I don't think she gets that nervous, actually, or at least about the danger factor. I don't think she gets that nervous about it. I think she puts it in God's hands. But I think any time it comes down to an end of the race like that, and you're got a shot at winning it, and it's that close, I'm sure everyone's a little nervous at that point.
Daytona 500. Where are your trophies? Like if I go into the house, how do I know what you do for a living?
You would know, believe me. It's like I got trophies everywhere.
Well, that's good that you have enough trophies there. But
it is a good problem to have. It's for sure. I'll make sure every morning I walk by that Daytona 500 trophy when I walk out the door. Make sure I see that thing because it's absolutely remarkable. Race to be a part of, really, and to win that was an amazing day, and it's awesome to get a road course win as well. Every driver wants to be able to be well-rounded and be able to win at short tracks and super speedways and mile and a half, and kind of made the full circle this weekend with the road course.
Explain to me what was happening with Harvick at the end. He was running out of gas and tried to block you, it looked like.
Yeah, it seems like it was it's one of those last-ditch efforts. He knew he was out of gas. And maybe he thought he can get enough to get to the line. So he gave me a little shot in the back bumper. But, hey, that's racing, and, we were able to work through that. So no big deal.
Is there a time when it's not racing? Have you ever been involved in something where you go, well, that's personal?
Oh, Of course. that happens a lot. And usually you see something happen after the race when it happens. But, a lot of times, we race each other, the same guys every week racing for wins. Eventually you run into each other, you have a problem, and it's how you handle those situations. And each time it takes something different to handle them. But, most of the time you can look back at it and say, hey, that's racing. Would I do the same thing? You can ask yourself that question, and then you kind of react after you answer that question for yourself.
But, it's Stewart, Hamlin, Harvick, but no fights this year, right?
Man, I'm good, man. We're just winning
You're
races.
maturing. You're growing up, Joey.
I'm trying to just fly under the radar this year.
Well, no, you're not by winning. You're not flying under the radar. Can you athletes talk about get in the zone. Can you be in a driving zone where just everything goes right?
I think you can. I think your whole team can get in the zone. I feel like my team is very tight, and I think when you look at any professional team, you got to have that chemistry there, and it's not just between the driver and the crew chief, but really the whole team. They're like a family. We hang out away from the racetrack a lot, and I think having those friendships really pays off, and to have a team that has fun but also understands how hard they need to work is a lot of fun to be a part of.
Well, congrats, good luck, and safe travels there in Michigan.
All right, sounds great. Thanks, guys.
All right, Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Pennzoil Ford. They got Michigan 500 at the Michigan International Speedway.